This song right here, that's the Rangers theme song, right?
No.
They need to switch it from
That was
Creed
the White Sox of
to Don't Stop
2005. Yeah, I'm about Creeded out.
Oh, that's Creed?
Will Creed be there today?
I haven't heard, but I think that would be a nice surprise.
Yeah, I wish we knew.
I bet they will.
They've got to be there.
They
That was their
have to.
theme song. They showed up to the games. The
Yeah.
city of Arlington, I'm sure they'll raise, they'll just add on a cent tax to everything sold in Arlington and hire Creed. They'll be there. Arlington will add on a few
Get it
cents
done.
a tax
no.
to you to do something sports related. Well, the Ticket had a great day of broadcasting yesterday. I thought everyone knocked it out of the park,
Yeah.
and I'm anticipating a fun day today because we got an actual parade in the Metroplex. Metroplex has a spotty history with parades.
Yeah.
There's one in 63 that didn't go so well.
Yeah, that one.
You know what?
That was the worst
That's a bad way to look at it. The majority of that parade went well.
one. Just about
was only-
8 seconds went really, really
Yes,
wrong.
It was only the last part that really fell apart on them. So I don't want to be too negative.
I think you can be negative about that parade.
We're coming up on 60 years here in a couple of
Yeah, a
weeks.
couple of
That's
weeks.
a big day for you, Gordo.
For me, why me?
Yeah, I think
I wasn't even alive.
I think we're out that day. We've got to before that day. We've got to do a JFK and the latest info, as we mentioned last week.
Yeah, because a lot of new stuff has
A
come
lot
out
of new stuff.
that
A
indicates
lot of new stuff.
There's a guy who claims, what was the new claim? It was
That he was the one who placed the magic bullet
On the
in
stretcher.
in the gurney. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And you know the theory that a lot of people, I think, have now gravitated towards is that it was an accidental misfire by a Secret Service guy that killed Kennedy.
That makes sense.
You shut your mouth right now before I put my foot through your mouth.
Sounded like a threat.
But anyway, we got a parade today in Arlington. The midday shows will be covering that.
Yep.
Kind of a little depressed that there aren't any more games. I've had the experience the past couple nights of, don't get to tune in.
I couldn't take John Smoltz another night. It had
I
to end
could.
that night.
I've gone back and watched old John Smoltz broadcasting just to get my fill of him because I just love him so much. You know, I told you guys, I've talked about it here on the air, about how I had a hard time tuning into Game 3, I think it was, because my internet cable at the watching party went out. Mm-hmm. And I hooked up an antenna finally for the final game, but didn't have to use it because the cable internet back. I finally went through and did the auto program on the antenna to see what kind of stations I could get over the air broadcast wise. It didn't pick up one.
What?
Really?
One. Yeah.
Huh.
That's a crappy antenna you hooked up to that thing.
Well, I think it was kind of a nice one when I got it many years ago. It was probably 5-6 years ago. But yeah, now it's one of those. It's a tabletop one. It's an indoor antenna. It's not one of those that you mount on a post outside, which I'm assuming would pick up more stations. But I think also almost all of our TV stations come from Cedar Hill, so you really only have to face it that one direction to get most of the stations.
On my little TV in the garage, all I have are rabbit ears, and I can get all those digital stations.
Damn it, can you?
That's what I'm saying. It's a crappy antenna you got.
Okay. Once again, I
You
failed.
got goofed somehow with that antenna you purchased.
So I have to go get an antenna. You don't have to get one. You already went.
That's right.
You already went.
We're obsessed with Brett Hull's.
Don't have to go anymore because we already did it.
I can smell his breath through time and space. And that's a guy who would get in your face at bars, too, talking like that.
You know?
Way too close, and he's just repeating himself over and over again while you're nodding, trying to get out of there. Do drunkards know that they get caught in a loop?
No.
No, they have no idea.
They think they're killing it.
They always do, don't
Yes,
they?
yes.
They always think that they're just killing it conversationally. They're doing great.
We usually find out the next day.
We usually find out. The next
they.
day. And it's because I think that once you get so drunk, what is it? It dumps your short-term memory. It's
Is that
related to the hippocampus somehow. which sounds like
what
a
conference
school.
are they in?
Yeah, but yeah, so you actually do forget that you just said something, and so that's why you think that you're just hitting it one more time for emphasis. So you only think you've said it twice, but you said it 50 times. Like Brett Hull, he thought that was real clever, though. We went there.
He thought he just knocked it out of the park.
I posted a good pic a few days ago, of a good P1 wearing a Bochi 7-Alarm Chili shirt that she made.
I saw that. That was funny.
And how did we miss that opportunity to not get those made? That's the shirt that I'd love to be walking around in today is Bruce Bochy's World Championship 7-Alarm Chili.
Yeah. 7.
Yeah. Because it wasn't until he came out with that product that they had a World Championship season.
That almost derailed the season. That's when they went on the skids.
Well, that was because the Hardline asked him about it.
Yeah.
And then they lost like 7 in a row.
Yeah, 6 in a row.
And why am I so stupid that I know that's not true, but yet it does somehow feel like it had something to do with it?
Baseball is
it's the most superstitious?
Yes, it's got to be. There's that story about the Diamondbacks GM that watches a game the same way every time, and the final couple of innings he leaves the suite and he goes underneath the stadium.
Hey, did you see what Bruce Bochy did the other night in Game 5? In the 8th inning, when the Rangers had scored a run, and I think they loaded the bases, he walked from his spot where he always sits on the left end of the dugout all the way to the far end to watch it. That's his superstition.
To change the karma and
Isn't that
the
crazy?
vibes.
Yeah.
We've made no progress. We've just made no progress. We're all just superstitious as we were in the Middle Ages.
You know what? I wonder what percentage of sports fans are like that. Because I'm like that. If I'm watching my favorite team, I'll change positions on the couch, or I'll stand, or I'll sit, or I'll hold my hands a certain way. And when they take crowd shots, it seems like everybody's doing something like that.
Yes.
Or
I fully believe that it's complete BS, and I fully act as though it's not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The other night, the person I was watching the game with said, "What was the story about what happened in 2011?" This is like in the 8th inning. I said, "We're not talking about that right now." What was his name? Nelly? Would you stop? No. Stop talking
Just bringing
about
it up.
that.
It's the worst thing to talk about at that moment.
But weren't they like way ahead? And stop it.
Okay, the most exciting way to get the final out. We missed this when we were talking about it. We talked about called third strike, which is what happened. We talked about swinging and a missing, and that being the final out. But Steven brings up a good one. He says, as a former catcher, the most exciting out in baseball is the tag out at home plate. Like if that Garcia's throw from a few days before, if that was the final out
Oh, my gosh.
of a World Series, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But with the one add-on, it has to be a one-run game.
Yes, right.
It can't be a 5-run game.
So if it
like
had
it was the
stayed
other
1-0,
yeah,
and then there was a put out at home,
Yes.
At home,
to win the World Series,
that would have been the most exciting.
yes.
God, that would have been awesome. That's in my fanfic in my head. That's the way that the World Series ended this year. So another P1 talked about the new era of baseball, all the changes that have happened, and I've been very interested to see it because I just dropped in on baseball this year after all the changes. So we got pitch clocks. I forgot about the giant bases, so those got bigger. What the hell are ghost runners? He mentions ghost runners.
for extra innings.
To speed the game along, so to lessen the chance you have a 20-inning game, they have the ghost runner rule.
What is it?
He's just out on second base as you start the inning.
Is it? I know.
Wait, hold. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's been hard for all of us.
It's a real backyard thing of, ghost runner on second, but it's a real person. Yeah.
Wait, it's a person, but we call him a ghost runner.
You just, because he got there in a ghostly way.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
He didn't have to get ahead or anything.
Yeah, that one's the one I think they need to. I think they need to get rid of.
My
that.
head hurts. So
if we
when
have a 15-inning game, we have a 15-inning game.
So when you start extra innings, there automatically is a guy on second.
Yeah,
there's a runner on second.
Yeah, and you got to deal with it.
And it has dramatically reduced Like, we don't have 18-inning,
We don't.
20-inning games anymore. It's really cut that
Which is
down.
kind of a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It
way
is.
too draining on you to have an 18-inning game.
Yeah.
But I think of the one change that has gutted the baseball purist more than any is that.
Yeah. That one they just can't. Because how do you score it? He just
So
appears.
if someone knocks him in, they get the RBI, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to
That
figure
seems
out.
like a very cheap. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. I think it's even cheaper for that guy. It's a run scored. Mm-hmm. Guess you got to
That
put it
the
on
player-
his ledger. He didn't do anything.
Of course, if they put in a pinch runner, he didn't do anything to get on first.
True.
And if he scores, he still gets that run, and he
Yeah.
should. I mean, the guy does have to run from second to home.
Yeah.
He has to put out some effort to get that run.
But he just got there spiritually.
You said that kind of weird.
I did.
Yeah,
I
there's a
struggled
little
with
bit
it,
of
but we
mid-word
got it
bogged
out.
down.
We got it out. That's the thing.
All right, the end.
Okay, thank you. That is the ODEC.
But right now it's time for picks against the P1 as we go into November. How do we stand?
Well, nobody had a winning week last week. Something really weird happened that I never remember happening before. In the high schools, all three of us, you, me, and P1 Aaron, who picked against us, went 1-4.
Yeah, we had some upsets last week.
Yeah. I don't remember all three of us having that poor of a week in the high schools ever. And then you rebounded in the colleges. You went 4-1. I rebounded in the pros and went 3-1. We had one push in the pros. I believe that was our Philly-Washington game. But P1 Aaron beat me. You and Aaron tied for the win. You each went 7-7, and I went 6-8. So not a stellar week for anybody, but you did get back in front. We were tied after last week, but now you've eked back in front by a game. So you're in first place, George, at 73-44. I'm a game behind you at 72-45, and the P1s collectively are 61-56. They are 12 games back of you.
What a race. All right, well, picking games with us this morning is Adam, who's a P1 living in Orlando, Florida. Hey, Adam.
Good morning.
So the story is you used to
Morning,
live
Ethan.
here in the Metroplex, right?
That is correct. Still have some family and a bunch of friends out there.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the great town of Allen, Texas.
Okay.
Well before we were winning state championships.
Okay. What's your level of football expertise in picking games?
Well, much like June's favorite character from Bowfinger Jif, I have attended football games. I have watched football games on TV. That is about the extent of my football knowledge.
Okay, that's good enough. That gets you in. That qualifies you.
Thank you for the Bowfinger reference.
Yeah, such a great movie.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we will pick 5 high school, 5 college, and 5 pro games. And we are in the final week of the regular season in high school football. The playoffs start next week. So we have playoff spots being determined tonight, including in 6-6A, where Flower Mound Marcus will visit Plano East. Plano East is in with a win and a Hebron loss, so they need some help. Who you like?
You know, back in the day when we were younger, the two Plano schools, Plano and Plano East, were dominant.
2 great cats.
Are they still like that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess Allen happened,
Okay.
and some people moved out,
Yeah.
and I don't know. They're just not the powers they used to be.
So because of that, give me Marcus.
Who you like, Adam?
I'll take Plano East.
Ooh, okay. I'll go Marcus to win the ball game. Also, a playoff spot is on the line. Ennis is at Mansfield Summit. Ennis needs a win, and Summit is already in the playoffs, but Ennis, this game means a lot to them.
Okay, Summit has nothing to play for.
I don't think so.
So I'll take Ennis.
Who you like, Adam?
I'll take Ennis as well.
Yeah, with that desperation, I'll take Ennis to win the ball game. Lufkin is at Lancaster. Lancaster can get in with a win. Lufkin needs to win by 5 or more, and they need a Forney loss to get in.
How did my old hometown of Lancaster get in this district where they play all these big East Texas schools? They played Longview a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they have to go way out east.
Why can't they get in a Metroplex district?
I don't know.
It's very weird to me.
You need to write a letter to the UIL.
Oh, I will. Give me Lancaster.
Who you like, Adam?
I'll go with Junes and go to Lancaster.
Yeah, I'll go with Lancaster to win the ball game. W.T. White is at Birdville. The winner of this game is the winner of District 5-5A.
Birdville.
Who you like, Adam?
I'll take W.T. White.
I think, I think I'm going to go W.T. White, too, along with Dirk. All right, let's crank up the computer and see what ChatGPT spits out this morning. Computer?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to recalibrate it.
It's here. You got it pulled up there?
Musers. It's me, the ChatGPT adolescent high school computer. Yo, did y'all hear about them Rangers? All those boomers that play boomer ball for the Rangers final won a meaningless boomer trophy, while most of us can't even afford a down payment on a car because of all these millennium Gen X boomers that have mismanaged our future and poisoned our world with your corporate chemicals and unchecked greed. But go ahead, celebrate a huge corporation that siphons money from the working poor, just to put it in the hands of a billionaire like Ray Davis, so he can work not even hard to keep the system rigged and preserve structural inequality. Sounds great. Anyway, your high school game of the week is the Groesbeck Goats traveling to take on the Malakoff Tigers. And that is your bit of weekly distraction from what's really going on to keep the world a sick and disgusting place in which little monsters like you will spend a whole day celebrating some boomers who could play a stupid boomer. Game against some other boomers while the world burns.
Golly.
Peace, you genocidal broadcasters.
Okay, now that it's just
Well, his editorials
it's a little
are
bit too much.
getting
Okay,
really strongly worded now.
Got such
get that
strong
there's some
opinions.
problems, but
All
you
right.
have a moment of joy.
Somewhere in there was the Goats of Groesbeck against Malakoff.
The way he said it, it made it sound like their names were the Groesbeck Goats traveling.
Traveling.
I did look up Malakoff, and they're undefeated, so I'll take them.
Okay, the Tigers. Who you like, Adam?
I agree with Junes. I'll take Malakoff, and that sounds like a character out of Children of the Corn.
It does. I watched that movie. A
Malakoff.
horrible movie.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it this Halloween season. Children of the Corn. Horrible movie.
I take the Goats of Groesbeck.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
All right, Adam, let's go to the colleges and the pros. We pick these games against the spread. College football, big one in the Big 12 tomorrow. Kansas State getting 3.5 at Texas, George.
Horns could mess around and get beat in this game. Kansas State's playing really well right now, and they're running the ball really well. And Malik Murphy tomorrow, right?
Yep.
3.5. I'll go Texas.
All right, Adam.
I'll take the Horns as well.
I think it's going to be a really, really good game. That point spread is a little smaller than I thought it would be, which worries me. But I think Texas can win. I'm worried it's going to be a field goal game, but I'm still going to take Texas at home. All right, the last time we get Bedlam for who knows how long, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. The Cowboys are getting 6.5.
Talked to a couple of pokes last night. Shout out to Pooh's dog and Braxton. And they're going to the game. They're so fired up.
Pooh's dog?
Yeah.
Wait, who's that?
His last name is Poozy, so they call him Pooh's dog. I'm going to I think they're so fired up about this game in Stillwater, and Ollie Gordon has been so good. I'll take the 6.5 in the Pokes.
All right, Adam?
I think I'm going to take the Sooners to finish this off, coming off a loss.
Yeah, I like Oklahoma bouncing back to win, but I like Oklahoma State to keep it really close. I think bitterness is on their side, so I'll take the Cowboys and the 6.5. All right, big one in the SEC. Texas A&M getting 3 at 10th-ranked Ole Miss.
This looks like the type of game that Jimbo just hasn't won.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's a road game, So right there is a problem. And Ole Miss has won 4 straight since getting beat by Alabama. Give me Ole Miss.
Adam?
I'm an Aggie, and we're a fraud. Give me Ole Miss.
I was about to apologize to you.
Adam.
He hammers on the Aggies, too. You want Jimbo out of there?
Oh, I want Jimbo out of there so bad.
Okay. I'm with you guys. I like Ole Miss here. Also in the SEC, LSU getting 3 at Alabama.
Boy, Alabama straightened things out. I think, and plus they're so tough to beat there. Give me the Crimson Tide.
Adam?
I agree with George there. Give me the Tide.
Yep, I agree with both of you. I'll take Alabama. And out west in the Pac-12, it's Washington at USC. The Trojans at home are getting 3.
Does USC want to finish out the season?
It doesn't look like it.
No. Give me Washington. I think they're good all the way around, still playing for something. Give me Washington.
What do you say, A-Train?
Give me Washington, Pat.
I'm going to take the Huskies as well.
All right, to the National Football League we go. This game is in Frankfurt, Germany, Sunday morning, our time. The Dolphins and the Chiefs. Tay-Tay going to be in Frankfurt?
I don't think so, unless her tour is over there.
I don't know.
Which means if she's not going to be there, that means Kelsey will have a bad game.
They may lose, yeah.
I hate picking games in London or in Germany because you never know how these teams are going to travel and react.
It's a marquee game we're taking overseas. I don't understand that.
Hey, guys.
Hey, marquee. Dive.
Mark E. I'll take Kansas City.
Who you like, Adam?
I'll take Kansas City as well.
Yeah, they're not going to get beat. Give me the Chiefs. Seattle is at Baltimore, and the Seahawks are getting 6.
This is the toughest game of the week for me to pick because I really, really like Seattle. I think they're really good. But Baltimore's better, but that's a big point spread. I'll still take the Ravens at home, but I don't feel good about it.
What do you feel about it there, Adam?
I think the Ravens are rolling. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I think they're rolling too. Give me the Ravens and their defense. Sunday night football, Buffalo is at Cincinnati. The Bengals are playing much better now.
And because of that, the world seems to be taking Cincinnati, but give me Buffalo.
Okay. Adam, who you like?
I'll take Joe Burrow.
I think I'm going to take Joe Burrow too. Yeah, I'm starting to think that they're good again. Give me Cincinnati. Monday night football. The Chargers in the Meadowlands taking on the Jets. Jets are getting 3.5 at home.
Not enough. Give me L.A.
Adam?
I'm going to take the Jets. The Chargers have a way of blowing games.
I'm going to take the Jets, too, in their defense. Boy, we could have a big swing this week. Give me the Jets at home in the 3.5. And that brings us to Sunday afternoon at the Link. Cowboys and Eagles. Dallas is getting 3.
I really like Dallas this week. I think they've shown something the last couple of weeks. Every time I watch Philly, they mess around, and then they finally get it together, and they squeak out a win. But I think if you mess around against Dallas, you might get into some trouble.
You're going to find out?
Yeah, you fall behind, and then you're having to throw, and the Dallas pass rush can turn loose. I like Dallas here a lot.
What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I'm a Cowboy homer, but I don't think they play well on grass. Give me the Eagles.
Okay, that's a decent theory, but I think they've played well against the Eagles, as we'll talk about at 8:15. So give me the Cowboys. Looks like McCarthy's figured a few things out here the last couple of weeks. All right, Adam, what are you going to do today in Orlando? Are you going to celebrate the Rangers?
I'm going to listen to the ticket and celebrate along with the ticket family and listen to the parade. Yep.
Are they going Rangers crazy in Orlando?
No, they don't care.
All right, Adam. Well, thanks for calling in this morning.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see
Love
you.
you.
That's Adam from Orlando. Picks against the P1. Up next, we got Gordo and Muse in the news.
Well, today's the big day. It's parade day. We got all the details next. The city of Arlington will host its first ever championship parade today. The parade is going to be in Arlington, Texas, said Arlington Mayor Jim Ross. We've invited the mayors of Fort Worth and Dallas to participate in the parade, but it's important that people know that this isn't an Arlington-only team, but it's in Arlington.
So it's kind of Arlington only.
Yeah. Several North Texas school districts, however, have canceled classes today to allow students and their staff to head to the parade.
What do you think the crowd will be there? Because for like Cowboys, we had 500,000?
I heard they were estimating 300,000.
Yeah,
today.
250 to 300,000.
250,000.
Play the whole thing.
250,000. $250,000.
Who was that that did that?
Peyton
Yeager?
Yeah.
Yeah, she invited me over to watch the game
She did?
when I was having trouble that night watching Game 4 or whatever it was. She invited me over. Why do you go, We're media people, George. We look out for each other.
You're barely media.
That sounds like an insult to me, but okay.
It's just a fact.
Bowie High School.
Bowie.
They say that their band got the call that they are going to play in the World Championship Parade, and he was interviewed, the band director was interviewed for this story, but also band students from all 6 Arlington ISD high schools will perform together.
Awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say that you played in a World Championship, what do you call it, World Series parade, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'd love that. What if they'll let me go out there with my bass?
No.
And I'll carry a battery-powered amp.
No.
We need to somehow weasel into the parade. How can we do that?
Parade crashers.
Dress as Shriners and rent go-karts?
Yeah, that'd get you in. Walk on stilts.
Do they even still do that?
Let's have the 3 of us ride
Yeah.
a Clydesdale.
All 3 of us on the same
On the
Clydesdale?
same Clydesdale.
Well, they're strong. They could handle us.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when I was a kid, it seemed like there were always these old men in fezzes riding around on go-karts.
Yeah.
And it was the Shriners.
Shriners still do their parades, sure.
But I don't know that old men ride go-karts anymore.
I bet they do.
They do? Oh, these guys nodding
You a
over
Shriner?
here.
Yeah, see? You're making fun
You're a
of them.
Shriner. Well, he's not old, though. I'm talking like these were guys who looked like Bruce Bochy riding around in a go-kart and a fez.
Well, that would be cool. If
Do y'all
put
still
Bochy.
do y'all still do fezzes? What's with the fez?
Shriners are awesome. They do awesome work.
Is the fez a Middle Eastern hat? Did it start there? Okay. So Shriners are Middle Eastern?
That's what the cartoon
That have rotator
character,
cuffs made of lizard?
Didn't
That's
Morocco
what I
Mole wear a hat like that?
Who?
The cartoon character Morocco Mole.
So Fez is a city in northern Morocco.
Told you. Well, that's Africa, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Is Africa Middle East? I sound like Miss Teen South Carolina right now.
No, but Africa is very diverse. You know, you have Morocco
it
and
is.
South Africa and Kenya.
And like such as. And where else?
And it looks like Fez may be Turkish. Did you say Turkey?
No, I said Morocco.
Yeah.
George said Morocco Mole.
Yeah, there he is. Remember Morocco
But-
Mole?
but
He
it-
was on Secret Squirrel.
No.
You don't remember Morocco Mole?
He was on Secret Squirrel. What are you talking about? All the stuff that's coming out of your mouth
Very
makes me
underrated
crazy and
cartoon.
cross-eyed right
Secret
now.
Squirrel.
Did you know that within the first few minutes of talking about the Rangers winning a World Series today, that Morocco Mole was going to come up?
I was hoping.
An obscure cartoon character.
It says the origins of the Fez are Turkish, Moroccan, Tunisian, and Greek.
Well, they need to get that straight.
Yeah, they can't
I mean,
really
they're
pinpoint.
they're all over the map, literally there. The parade scheduled to start at 12:15 p.m. I'm assuming that's Central Time.
Yes.
There's going to be a ceremony, hey guys, honoring the team around 1:15 on the North Plaza. So the parade route or route, how do you like it?
Route.
Please proceed to the highlighted
Route.
route. Then the route guidance will start. I swear I had
You had a route?
a fake woman on my car that used to say route route. Did you know that sentence was going to be said?
No.
Okay.
Let's go back to
Route
Morocco Mole.
1.9-mile-long procession. It's going to circle around Globe Life Field and Choctaw Stadium, which is the Rangers' former home. And according to the Fox 4 weather team, which Mike Ducey is permanently envious of because of all the
They get
coverage
all
they
the
get,
action,
airtime, the weather is supposed to be perfect for a parade.
Awesome.
70-something today, right?
Mm-hmm. Only the best weather.
Only the best.
That's what they're going to have.
You know, sometimes these things can go south. I heard somebody from the Arlington Police Department interviewed, and he said, we're used to big crowds here, like when the Rangers and Cowboys play at the same time, but we've never had anything like this. And so they've called in reinforcements from other departments.
Did they call in the other Texas Rangers?
No, but they called in.
And does that get tense when they're all in the same place?
They-
And they're like,
real
yeah.
Texas
they're all
Rangers.
pissed at each other for stealing each other's names all the time back and forth.
They've called in Grand Prairie and Tarrant County and things like that.
Who's Graham Prairie?
Grand Prairie.
Oh,
But, you know, they go south sometimes, like that Cowboys parade.
Man, that did go south.
That was
What
terrible.
happened in
I
that
took
one?
my young kids and my sainted mother to that, and we were desperately trying to get out of there after people were running and
oh gosh.
crowding each other. It was a mess.
Well, what happened though? Was there gunfire?
Yep.
Or
At the
oh,
end, there
no.
was gunfire,
Yep.
but even before that, there was people that were almost like fighting because they were being pushed into the parade route.
Yeah.
And they were like trying to push back, saying, "Stop pushing."
I was down there on the street covering it for our old station, and I had a wireless mic out there, and the fans choked down the streets where the cars couldn't move, the floats couldn't move.
Man, if you're an athlete that's in a car
I know.
and people start surrounding it and you can't even move the car,
Didn't one of them catch on fire because the confetti under it got
a player?
heated up or something?
Oh, a car?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They
It
had
was a mess.
500,000 that day, downtown Dallas, for that parade, and the streets couldn't handle it. There's more space, I'll say at least, where they're doing it in Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all these streets are surrounded by massive parking lots, so there's plenty of room.
Wide open spaces.
Who's that?
The Dixie Lady A? Whatever they're called now? No, the
The
Lady A
Chicks.
Chicks.
They're called the Chicks. now.
Okay.
I also think that Ranger fans are going to be more well-behaved than Cowboys fans. I don't know why
Yeah.
I think that, but I do.
Yeah. Sometimes the troublemakers aren't necessarily fans. They're just
Troublemakers
looking to make some trouble.
for a party. There's going to be a 30-minute program after the parade in which Chuck Morgan, the Texas Rangers Hall of Famer, Chuck Morgan,
So happy for Chuck.
he's going to lead this. It's going to happen right afterwards at Globe Life Field's North Plaza. And the Rangers executives are going to speak. So is Bruce Bochy and Rangers players. So, will we have a drunk player get up and go full Brett Hull?
No, I don't think so. This group seems pretty squared away.
Yeah, but after you've gone through that long of a season, they're going to be tempted to
Yeah.
have a few morning brewskis.
Yeah, but I think that's a key though, that it's starting so early. It's not 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
But by 1 p.m., hey, even in my life with regular spares, I've seen the 1 p.m. drunkard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure, it can happen, but I think it's better there than 5 o'clock or so.
I think the leading candidates are Evan Carter, in my book, because he's 21. He doesn't know how to handle his alcohol yet. George Austin Hedges is a good bet. That was
Yeah.
your guy. A P1 suggested Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah,
I could see that because he's a
just
wild ride.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But outside of that, they're all so squared away, like Corey Seager and
Yeah,
Simeon.
I don't think you're going to have any. You're not going to have any Brett. We'll never have another Brett Hull. Those guys have been drunk, but not like that.
Gordo's pick of Nathaniel Lowe is a possibility.
Yeah. I watched him post-celebration post-game celebration, and he was pretty hyped up, as you can imagine, and he just looked like he had some craziness in his eyes.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
How about Max Scherzer?
But, yeah, and the problem is that all of those hockey players could have been Brett Hull, to be quite honest with you.
Hockey players go harder, I think.
No doubt.
That is the roughest bunch of guys ever, a hockey
I mean,
team.
it's a wonder the Stanley Cup made it through the Stars winning it in '99. It did get dented as it got thrown out of a balcony into a pool.
That's the worst sport to have an actual trophy that gets passed around.
A sacred trophy. Hey, take good care of this, okay?
I mean, imagine put the Stanley Cup in the hands of Brett Hull.
I bet you.
And when the Stars did damage it, do y'all remember that story?
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah.
That's what, it got
Was it
thrown out
in
of
a pool or something into a pool?
Got thrown out of a balcony into shallow water.
Yes, as I just said.
Okay, do you think
Thanks, Brad, for backing me up.
Has a stripper ever drinking it out of the Stanley Cup?
Oh,
yes.
my God.
Has a stripper ever not
I think
drank
there's
it
been more
out of
strippers
Stanley
than
Cup?
hockey players that
Weird
have
question.
had sips out of that.
I will guarantee you that of the big four sports, if you were to add up all of the alcohol consumed, by 100 miles, hockey players beat football, basketball,
Absolutely.
and baseball.
Yeah.
Probably combined.
Well, they all come from up north where that's all there is to do is play hockey and drink.
Wasn't the story of
And
Wade
regret
Boggs
getting married?
Baseball players can go pretty hard, too. Couldn't Wade Boggs drink a whole case of beer or something on the way home?
Yeah, there's no doubt they
On the
can.
way home?
And
On a plane.
Oh.
And George, as you brought up, we saw Brady and Gronk when the Bucks won it, and they went hard. But those are more isolated.
Yeah, hockey players are the.
I don't know if we have a little bit of Brett Hull's celebration where we could remind people what he sounded like when the Blues won.
Gloria, I think I got your number. Gloria.
Oh, my gosh.
My favorite speech of all time.
How did he survive
John
that?
F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Brett Hull. That's how I put my speeches.
So you think
Lincoln's up there somewhere.
you think the transcript of Brett Hull's speech will be treated as well as like the Gettysburg Address when it's printed out?
Well, just hear the beginning of the speech where he started, no one in the history. See, it's a very historical speech.
Yeah, he did bring up history. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Look at Brett Hull.
Nothing's changed over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, Brett Hull is on the stage, but you've noticed they haven't given him a microphone as of yet.
That might be the smartest move of the day.
Good job, who's ever producing the stage up there.
By the way, speaking of John Hamm.
Oh, here we go.
Ric
Flair.
Look at his T-shirt. No one in the history could have imagined how this day would ever end.
No one in the history
could imagine how this game would ever end.
Could you start a speech any better than that?
Do you think that if we went to the National Archives and looked at Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, that sentence is written and then crossed out at the front of his speech? He was going to start it that way.
And then he said that tired stuff about fourscore and all that.
Then he went with that. He said, I was going to start this. No one in the history could have imagined this game would ever end this way. And he scratched it out and just went with the second sentence, 7 years ago. Suzanne Summers had cancer on her brain.
Oh, she did.
Oh.
God, what a
Anyway,
downer.
y'all go ahead. Talk parades and everything.
You're stacking
After
stories, you
parade
moron. It's
talk.
not on us.
When she died, her family was around her when she passed away. But
You know
it was,
what we need?
It was breast cancer that
Like
spread
back
to her
when we
brain.
worked at the all news station, we had a news editor. Shouldn't
Yes.
someone stack his stories?
Oh,
'Cause
I've thought that for 30 years.
he can't do it.
You're moving a little slow on that project, aren't you, Junior?
Yeah.
Of hiring a news
He's on
editor?
it. He's at least
I'm playing the long
You
game.
thought it for 30 years.
He's aware of the problem.
Anyway, she died back on October 15th. Suzanne
sad.
Summers, the beloved actress. She survived, though, for, 23 years with breast cancer. And remember, she refused chemo. She was going to treat it with vitamins and Mountain Dew or something. I don't know what her... It was something weird.
I don't think Mountain Dew was part of it, but
Well, what? That's a placeholder until I
mean, like
figure out
moonshine
what
or
supplements
the
she was
actual
talking
soft
about.
drink?
Hey, speaking of Mountain Dew, the FDA came out and proposed a ban on the use of brominated vegetable oil, which used to be popular in Gatorade and Mountain Dew, but they're phasing it out.
What
because,
is that?
Well, bromine is...
Pesticide?
No, it's a flame retardant.
God.
Why are you laughing at that? But I think it can cause cancer.
We've been drinking flame retardant all these years?
What?
What do you mean, what? I just repeated what you said.
George.
But it says it includes, this can damage the liver, the heart, and the brain. And you know who we know who used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew back when they used to have bromide in it. Bromine in it. Mike Ducey. Ducey.
I think he still does.
I know. But I don't think they still put it in there, but it used to be in there. It's still in some store brand and regional beverages, like Sundrop citrus-flavored soda.
Okay.
Anyway,
right,
Mike Ducey. Does he have a mustache these days, Mike Ducey? Huh. Is it squarish and postage stamp looking?
No. Idiot.
I'm just asking. Michael Dukakis is 90.
Wow. Still with us.
And what was his deal?
He ran for president.
Well, wasn't he photographed in a tank? And
oh, yeah.
his little head sticking up out of a tank. That was a bad look for him.
That was a terrible photo.
Shadow Stevens, the actor and radio star, is 77.
Okay. What did he
his
star
birthday
in
actually may be tomorrow.
Game shows.
His birthday may be tomorrow, actually.
All right.
But what day is that, you're asking? Oh, it's Shadow Day. Yeah. God dang, George, come on.
I didn't pick up. I thought
Roseanne Barr, 71. Kate Capshaw, actress, wife of Steven Spielberg, 70. Dennis Miller, also 70.
Okay.
Here, I found the Michael Dukakis picture. Doesn't he look like Rick Moranis?
Yeah, he does kind of look like a character.
So bad.
He was a little undersized. Speaking of undersized, have you seen the Ron DeSantis maybe wearing heel lifts in his cowboy
Yeah,
boots?
you showed us that.
He's wearing giant boots. He's wearing clown boots.
I know it. And his pants are hemmed way too high now that he's got lifts, and he's claiming that he's not doing it.
Saturday Night Live needs to do something on that. Give him big old clown boots.
Adam Ant is 69. Not near as good as XTC. Gary Ross, the director of Seabiscuit and The Hunger Games, is 67. The Ticket's own Dolph Lundgren is 66. I see him in a lot of ads these days, but he's digitally de-aged.
Really?
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren. He was the mean guy, Drago, in Rocky IV. Bert Kreischer, the comedian, 49. I've seen him in concert. Elizabeth Smart is 36, the child safety advocate. Dwight Evans, Red Sox Hall of Famer.
Greatness?
Or, I'm sorry, not Hall of Famer. Red Sox OF.
Outfielder. Great player, not a Hall of Famer.
I read an H,
but
and I'm running that somehow.
Dewey Evans.
He's 72. Bob Welch, Dodgers and A's pitcher, is 67. Kyle Seager, Corey's older brother, 36. Phil Simms, 68. Colin Kaepernick, 35. Darren Sharper is 47. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, former NFLer.
In 2014, he was accused of sexual assault on multiple counts and sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Okay.
Larry Holmes, 74.
All right, that's Muse 736 on the ticket.
Jeez,
Coming
dude.
up next, Friday morning Scattershooting.
It's parade day.
And now it's time for Friday morning Scattershooting with your old pal, Junior Miller, right here on Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Scattershooting while wondering whatever happened to Lenny Randle. He was the Rangers' starting second baseman in their first year here and was quite a character.
Was he the one that got in the fight?
Punched Frank Lucchesi,
Yeah, okay.
his manager. Texas winning the World Series has caused most of us to wax nostalgic with decades of Rangers memories flooding into the present. There is something about baseball that the other sports don't have. Part of it, I believe, is that it's played every day, so it's omnipresent in our lives for half of the year. We have memories of our dads or uncles or grandparents sitting in the kitchen or out on the back porch, listening to the games on the radio day in, day out, or we listened as kids or adults. Another part of it is that baseball is played during the summer, the most magical season of our childhood. Every summer day, the Rangers played, and you could stay up late, you could watch, you could listen, you could go to the games because you didn't have school. You were swimming in baseball in a way you didn't swim in other sports.
Yeah.
And there's the playing catch aspect. The sport kids play with their parents before any other is baseball, having a catch.
Yeah.
Add to all of that the fact that the Rangers took so long to get to the mountaintop, and you have a recipe for sports emotion, the likes of which we've really never experienced before around these parts, and we'll never experience it again. The Rangers might win a few more of these, but there is nothing like your first.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Especially, that's the thing. Gordo always makes fun of a Field of Dreams, but there is something magical about playing catch.
There's definitely something more romantic about a kid playing catch with his dad or his mom than shooting baskets, taking turns hitting slap shots, or trying to figure out how to grip a football and awkwardly throw it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
They debuted in 1961 as the Washington Senators, so the Rangers were the oldest active franchise in any sport that had never won a championship. But now, that distinction belongs to the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, no.
Who played their first game roughly 5 months after the Senators did in 1961. For NFL teams, this includes NFL or AFL championships won prior to the Super Bowl era. For example, the Chargers are considered to have won a championship in 1963 in the AFL. And now that the Rangers are off the list, the longest current baseball title drought for a franchise that has never won one is owned by both the Padres and Brewers, each born in 1969, 55 years for both without a world championship.
Don't you think along the lines like the Viking fans are starting to wonder, am I ever going to see this?
Yes. They feel cursed.
All the times the carpet's been ripped out from under them.
No doubt. There are currently 13 metro areas with a team in each of the big four sports. And now that the Rangers are champs, 8 of them have won a title in all 4. DFW joins New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Philly, Detroit, Boston, and Washington, D.C. as metro areas with titles in football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, which leaves these 5 on the outside looking in. Denver, still waiting on the Rockies. Miami, needing the Panthers to skate the Cup. San Francisco, needing the Sharks to skate the Cup. Phoenix, needing the Coyotes and Suns to win titles. And Minneapolis-St. Paul, which needs the Vikings, Timberwolves, and Wild to win it all.
So the Cardinals got one, but it was, what was it, St. Louis or Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
Okay.
They got 2, I believe, in Chicago.
Okay.
So it counts as their franchise having won. So Phoenix just needs the Coyotes and the Suns.
Gotcha.
Looking back, the signs were there pretty early in the season that the Rangers were a World Series caliber team, but would you have placed a bet on Arizona to get there? Well, one person did. Back in June, somebody wagered $200 at Caesars in Las Vegas that the Texas Rangers would win the World Series over the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Holy cow.
And Thursday night, that person won $80,000.
Oh, I love it.
Corey Seager capped a monster season by winning his second World Series MVP trophy. He becomes the second player in any sport to win the championship MVP award for 2 different teams in the span of 4 seasons, also winning it for the Dodgers back in 2020. The only other athlete that's ever done that, LeBron James with Miami and then Cleveland. And how about Rangers skipper Bruce Bochy? The future Hall of Fame manager has won an incredible 15 of his last 16 postseason series. And he now joins the exclusive club of managers who have won 4 rings. That club is led by Joe McCarthy and Casey Stengel, who each won 7. Then Connie Mack, who won 5. Then it's Walter Alston, Joe Torre, and Bruce Bochy with 4. And what about this note? Rangers GM Chris Young now becomes one of just 3 men to win a World Series as a player and a general manager.
That surprised me.
Only 3 have done that.
Yeah.
He won as a player with the Royals back in 2015 and now is the Rangers GM. The other two to do it, the great Stan Musial, who won as a player and a GM for his Cardinals, and Johnny Murphy, who won a lot of rings as a player with the Yankees and then was the general manager of the 1969 Miracle Mets.
Wow, that's great trivia.
And when you think about it, a lot of GMs in baseball and in baseball history never played.
Yeah.
Like John
That's
Daniels,
true. Yeah.
Doug Melvin, those guys.
Right.
It's interesting that spot doesn't really have a lot of former players.
A lot of times they're former scouts that have made their way up.
Yeah. Maybe the Rangers won it for Frank. As we noted earlier this week, the great Frank Howard passed away on Monday. Howard was the 1960 National League Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers, was traded to the Washington Senators in 1965, where he really blossomed, becoming a four-time All-Star, leading the American League in home runs twice. In 1970, he led the AL with 44 home runs, 126 RBIs, and 132 walks. He was extremely popular in Washington, where in 1971, Howard hit the final home run in Senators history when, in his last at-bat, he went deep at RFK Stadium. The fans, knowing the team was moving to Texas the next season, gave him a standing ovation. He came out of the dugout, blew kisses to the crowd, threw his hat into the stands, and called it the best moment of his career. He was past his prime when he played for Texas, but he did hit the first home run in Rangers history in the fifth game of the season in the first ever game played in Arlington, April 21st, 1972, against the Angels. The great Frank Howard was 87 years old. On Wednesday night, the Rangers won the World Series, the Mavericks beat the Bulls, and the Stars beat the Flames. It's the second time in Big Four history that a metro area won a title in one sport and a game in two other sports on the same day.
Jeez.
The only other time that's happened, February 3rd, 2019, for Boston, when the Patriots won the Super Bowl and the Bruins and the Celtics also won on that day. This week's criminal, who actually had a pretty good idea, is an unnamed 22-year-old man in Warsaw, Poland, who outwitted mall security guards, at least for a time, after twice posing in a store window as a mannequin. The man stood still next to two other mannequins and held a bag until the mall closed when he stole jewelry from a kiosk. On another occasion, he ate at one of the mall's restaurants, found a new set of clothing, and headed back to another display window, but police were onto him by then, and they arrested him. He now faces up to 10 years in prison.
I always wanted to live in a mall overnight.
Yeah, or like a grocery store or something.
Yeah,
Just
everything you need.
And we were just in New York City, and we saw those people who will pose as a statue for money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why haven't more people thought of this, posing as a mannequin,
Genius
and
plan.
then cleaning them out?
Because it would be so obvious to the store security guard if the Tin Man is standing there just completely still.
And finally, a man went to the hospital to visit his mother-in-law, who was in serious condition. On the way back, the wife, very worried, asked, "So, honey, how's my mom doing?" He replied, "She looks great. She's in good health. She's going to live for many years. Next week, she's going to be released from the hospital. She'll come and live with us forever." "Wow, that's amazing," said the wife. "But this is really weird because yesterday the doctor said she only had a few days to live." "Well," said the husband, "I don't know how she was yesterday, but today when I got to the hospital, the doctor told me that we should prepare for the worst."
Oh, man.
Right.
So he thought that would be forever.
That's Friday Morning Scattershooting, the radio segment waving the banner for every Dr. Pepper Jr. Ranger who teared up this week.
Thanks for hanging out with your old pal Junior Miller for another edition of Friday Morning Scattershooting. We'll see you next Friday right here on Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
7:51 on The Ticket. Up next in the emergency break of the week. You just can't say that, any of it, in 4 minutes.
Patreon.com/sportsgreek.
It's time for the emergency break of the week.
For it to be, man, that's fantastic, a little on the beery side.
Yeah.
That is really light. And I could definitely see myself having this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's very light. It's easy. And you get, for a beer that's 5.9% that's brewed like this, for the flavors of that malt to come up, a little sweetness there, a little bit more kind of a rich type malt flavor, man. That's a tasty beer.
That moment when programming is brought to a complete halt by a wheels-off comment or technical meltdown.
Yeah, rinse out your glass there. What'd you think, Killer? You a fan?
I do like the Christmas. That's a definite beer that you'd sit on the patio and watch the leaves turn colors.
Yeah, and it's a good beer for this time of the year. Now it's kind of cooling off a little bit. So that's our first one, and again, it just kind of a cool way to do that.
I like Christmas too, Killer.
No, he didn't say Christmas.
All right, so next up,
crisp.
All right, this is great because it's the battle of the IPAs, because we have two different IPAs here.
Let's see who yanked the break the hardest this week on the Little Ticket.
The emergency break of the week brought to you by Crawford Services, AC and Plumbing. We'll give you the candidates. You get the vote on them at 888-787-1310. The first two candidates have something in common. Kind of a baseball theme. They've come up through the Rant farm system.
What is the Rant?
It's a show that used to be on Saturday, and you were the orchestra leader, the conductor of characters like Corby and Davy.
They're real people. They're not characters.
And Corby is candidate number one from the Hardline, talking about members of our sales staff and someone who's been a part of our sales staff for a long, long time, Sweet Lindsay. And I don't know what got into Corby where he thought he could say this.
So this story is from Richardson ISD. Do we have any friends that went to Berkner?
Monty
went to Berkner?
Yeah.
Gordon didn't go there?
Richardson? He went to Richardson.
Okay.
High school. I went to Pierce.
Is that where Lindsay went? Did Lindsay go to Berkner? Our Lindsay.
Sales person Lindsay.
Yeah, the sales. She's eager. I call her that to her face.
Okay.
And we dumped it, too.
What's wrong with the show today?
What's going on here?
Hopefully the lawyers will be okay with that.
Well, we'll have to ask Monty if he is familiar with Chuck Brandon.
Wait, so what did he say? It's cutting out a little bit. He said our sales, and then he named an animal.
Oh.
A dam building animal.
That people usually put eager in front of?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
There's also a TV show called Leave It to Beaver.
The mascot of Oregon State?
Yes.
Why would he call her that?
Our sales...
Well, because he went. That's how they do it. The Rant.
Don't blame it on the Rant. I wouldn't even say that. That's
that
Corby.
Would cause
He's more reckless than I am.
Have you guys heard that term before?
No.
Well, I don't understand it.
They didn't either.
Maybe he was thinking of the term eager beaver, and he just didn't put, because she's active and always out there selling, and very productive.
I don't know.
But it's not a term that any of us have been in radio for 100 years have ever heard of that term.
To call it she's our sales.
I don't know. Corby's high half the time. I have no idea what he's doing.
And wait a minute.
That is true.
So that got dumped.
Yeah.
And bleeped. We need to bleep that word even though we've all just said it?
Well, we said it in different context.
Well, how does that make it dirty?
Well, because it sounds like it could be a very derogatory gendered term, or gendered, if you prefer to be even more proper.
And it's better to be safe than sorry, don't you think?
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Junior can care.
888-787.
All right. Well, I know you can't say this term. I never even heard about this term until I started working at this station and started hanging around with people like Gordon and Corby and Davy Lane. This is Davy. As they're talking about a pile up on the highway. I'm not even going to say the term because...
What do you call them? Crash beavers?
Just listen.
What if they plow into that car and then that car goes into the hole and that car's bigger than the car that went in the hole to begin with?
Well, hopefully it would be parked perpendicular to the hole and to the road, and it wouldn't be able to fit in the hole. Stop it, Ham. Right? It would just kind of trundle over the hole.
It would be like trying to the hole.
Okay. We're done.
I think he took it too far.
What did he say?
Dave.
Okay, wait a second. This is misleading.
Okay, it rhymes with wristing.
Why?
Yeah,
you can't say that. You literally can't say that. And that Y had massive bubble voice.
Why? Yeah, our return's giving us some trouble, so you can't hear exactly what's being said. But yeah.
And that's just on our end. The listeners don't hear
Yes,
the bad return, but
yeah.
we are. So, yeah, and the way we beeped it sounds worse than it
Yes,
actually was.
Right.
Because we left the F at the beginning of the word.
Sounds like he dropped the mother of all cuss words.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Which
the
he
most,
didn't, but, yeah.
the most regal and reigning of all cuss words.
So there's Davey as candidate number 2. Candidate number 3 comes from this show. Junior Miller is up for the emergency break of the week. We were talking about Gordo's ailments, and you assigned a condition to him that he swears that he doesn't have. At least that's what he says on the air.
I think you probably tore something, and then I bet what has happened is all the scar tissue has just solidified that area.
Yeah, and that's going to tear loose one of these days, and you're going to.
But you would think the scar
fall
tissue
down
would
crying.
have some problems, right? Like I would feel it somehow with scar tissue or have a
you will.
limited range. Ooh, I do feel a little bit.
Yeah,
when I
you
just turned
you
it
probably
there.
will.
Uh-oh.
It's given you temporary relief, and that may last for years, but one day you'll be in absolute and utter hell.
Yeah, go see if you can.
Damn! And
what was the other one?
The
that
other
healed
one
itself?
was
the micropene thing.
And
That's a bingo for both of you
that was
guys.
just a tip. An off-air conversation that I had with you that you swore to me.
I'm sorry. I thought we had gone to commercial break.
That was when you were giving me the name of your surgeon in confidence.
And somehow he turns it back around on you.
I'd like to apologize for bringing that up on the air.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No, I mean, you suffer from it too, so I mean, it's no big deal.
You can't just also jump on the same line of humor.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Watch me do it. Watch me do it. I'm going to dock our micropenes right now.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
What?
All right. Is it Corby? Is it Dave? Or is it Craig? 888-787-1310. Hello. You're on the ticket. Who wins the e-break?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Okay.
Who's this?
This is Derrickson, Robertson, Fassbender, McLean, and I was just listening on my iPad. Thought I would vote in for Corbally.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't really either.
Hard to hear him.
Hello. You're on Ticket Radio. Who wins?
Yes, I'd like to vote for Davey playing around the hole and Hooter Brown.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. You're on the ticket. America's favorite radio station.
Good morning, Musers. Give me a shout-out to the Boner Boys. They know who they are. And shout-out to the Rangers. Also, real quick, shout-out to Becca from the Stick It Up Your Tailpipe traffic report. She sounds real hot. And give me Corby, please.
Okay, man, that's a lot there. Hi, you're on the ticket. Who wins the emergency break of the week?
Give me Dave.
Thank you.
Pretty responsible voting so
Yeah,
far.
I like that.
Yeah, very efficient. Hi, you're on the ticket. Who wins the e-break?
Corby's going to win the e-break.
Okay.
Is this Brett Hull?
Are you? He sounds like he's predicting, but I guess we'll take it as a vote. All right, thanks. Hi, you're on the ticket. Who wins e-break?
Howdy. This is the long, tall Texan from Parker County.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for the heel boots of Ron DeSantis, and Corby was a little hard on the beaver.
His laugh.
He enjoyed himself. Hi, you're on the ticket. Who wins the e-break?
Hey, good morning, guys. This is not Cruz and Alito's, but I would like to vote for Corby's Angry Beaver. Have a great day, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a quick win
for
one Corby Davidson.
So this story is from Richardson ISD. Do we have any friends that went to Berkner?
Monty
went to Berkner?
Yeah.
Gordon didn't go there?
Richardson? He went to Richardson.
Okay.
High school. I went to Pierce.
Is that where Lindsay went? Did Lindsay go to Bartner? Our Lindsay.
Salesperson Lindsay.
Yeah, the sales. She's eager. I call her that to her face.
Okay.
And we dumped it, too.
Hopefully
We
the
caught
lawyers-
it.
What's wrong
with the show today?
What's going on here?
Hopefully the lawyers will be okay with
Well,
that.
we'll have to ask Monty if he is familiar with Chuck Brandon.
So Corby thinks it's okay. It's fine.
I'll say it
'cause-
to her face.
Yeah, because I'll say it to her face.
Is he taking any training? The same training
that's his
that we've
moral
had?
defense.
That's fine.
Yeah, in none of our training videos did they ever say, if Corby will say it to someone's face,
Yes.
then you can say it too.
These terms are acceptable at work as long as you use them in front of people.
That's fine. All right, Daddy, do you have the totals in front of you?
Yes, I do. That is Corby's 82nd win. He is now 53 behind Norman We Went Rangers Hitzkiss.
We went. All right, good job, Daddy, and good job, Corby, this week's winner in the e-break.
And since we're out here at Fannin, we like to do this from time to time. Gordo is going to take out the wireless microphone. Come in, Gordo.
He loves sound effects.
He's rummaging through the table of snacks.
I'm doing ASMR. What are you looking at over here and laughing at?
Picture of Bruce Bochy driving a go-kart with Morocco Mole.
Okay.
And he's wearing a fez.
Why have you become such an idiot?
I'm not. That
Why did you
applies
decide?
to what we were talking about earlier in the Fez, and I said Morocco Mole
With
wore
all
one.
the serious stuff that's going on in the world. You're looking
I
at
know.
cartoons, and I'm doing ASMR over here. I figured we'd talk to the big crowd that we have assembled here.
Man, they hear that you're going to be on the wireless, and they just take off.
As soon as you announced that, they scattered like roaches. Unbelievable. But we still do have a few people here. Let's talk to this fine young gentleman. What's your name, sir?
It's Paige.
Paige. It's our old friend Paige,
Yay.
who has
Yay.
been here. How many times have we been here and you've shown up?
At least 5 or 6. I think we're at 6 now.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
How old are you now, Paige?
I'm 17.
17. And so you are a senior?
Senior in high school at Heritage High School.
Okay. And I know I always ask you about your college plans. Is it still the same?
Yeah, I'm in the process of applying. I'm going to apply to UT. That's my dream school. But I've also applied to the University of Arkansas and a few schools in Boston as well.
Mm-hmm.
Boston,
now, UT, it's different getting into UT now than it was when I was a kid, because now it's hard to get into.
Yes. To be automatically accepted, you have to be in this top 6%, which in a competitive school like mine is really difficult. And so now it's just up to chance pretty much. Are my scores enough? Is my essay enough? So
Isn't that something? You can make straight A's, but if you don't take the right classes, your GPA is not going to be high enough to be in the top, like she was saying, 6%.
So
don't laugh at that.
I'm in the top 50, even though I have over a 4.0. I have a 4.4, and I make the top 50, but I don't make the top 25.
What do you think our class rank would be now?
Oh, my God. With my
With all these-
2.1?
If you would have even told me that somebody had a 4.4, I wouldn't have understood what
Right.
you
What
were
do you mean
saying.
a 4.4?
I thought it only goes up to 4. What do you mean 4.4? Doesn't make any
Can't
sense.
get over 2.
Yeah, I swear like half my dumbass friends went to UT back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day it wasn't like this.
Well, we're rooting for you, Paige.
Thank you.
Now, what happened to your dad?
Well, he works in sales, and
Generic.
that's all he does all day. And so he had to go take a conference call about sales.
Do you know what he
To
sells?
leave and go do his job.
Yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of P1s were thinking that I was being led into a bear trap of, hey, what happened to your dad? Well, he clutched his heart and passed out in a plate of spaghetti about 3 months ago.
Bingo.
But no, I knew him because I'd seen him here earlier today. And so you drove your own car up here.
I did. I'm skipping first period to
Yay.
be here, so I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening. I'm sorry. Dad gave me permission.
Yeah, she's a good kid. She can miss one class.
Yeah, I think it's. Do most of your friends have their license at 17?
Honestly, the number's going down for like how many people get their license immediately at 16. I got my license the day I turned 16.
There you go.
But I have one really close friend, and we drive around everywhere together.
Because she or he does not have a license?
I'm just the mom of the group, I guess, and so I just drive her around, even though she has her license.
Oh, she does have her license.
She
doesn't like to drive.
She does have it.
Did your dad buy you a nice car?
Yeah, he gave me his old 2015 Subaru Legacy.
Hey, that's not a bad car.
Yeah, not bad.
And it's not that old, only 8 years old.
Honestly, I love it. It's like my little baby. I call her Susie, and she's like, she warms my heart. I see her every day, and I love her.
And how are things going in the romance department, if I may ask?
It's dry. There's no one.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
High school dating's the worst.
Well,
anyway.
I didn't even go to Hoco. I went to the Longhorns game instead.
That's
so
okay.
I skipped Hoco and went to Austin.
I don't remember us calling it Hoco either, and now that's
that's a big thing.
Everybody calls it Hoco.
Is she a Taylor Swift fan, and what does she think?
Yeah, she is
of the Chiefs and
she can
Taylor?
hear you. You don't need me to ask her.
Ask her if she has kept up with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Oh, that's all I talk about. My dad gets so annoyed, but my mom is in on me with it. But yep. Every Sunday, I'm checking, making sure that Taylor isn't in the box. I went to go see her concert in Arlington. It was the best experience of my life.
Yeah. Wow. We talked about that last time.
I went as Speak Now. I wore a purple dress, and I traded bracelets, and I got one that says Teardrops on My Guitar, which is my mom's favorite song. So it was a great experience.
See there? She's a big Swiftie.
I know. She told us that last time. Are you going to? Do you think she'll be in Frankfurt on Sunday?
I don't know. She just released a new album, so I'm sure she's doing press for that and stuff. So
she just released another album.
Well, she did a re-recording, so
another
1989
re-record.
Taylor's version.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she released 5 new songs and slammed Harry Styles, and it was the best.
Yeah.
What does she have against Harry Styles?
Well, she dated him in 2013, and he left her on a boat, and she references that in a song "Blue Dress on a Boat," and just completely, you should listen to it.
He seems like a real jerk, that Harry Styles, doesn't he?
Yeah, didn't he, what was that relationship he was part of?
Yeah, you are a big jerk.
Was in the movies that she directed?
Yeah, Olivia Wilde, and Don't Worry, Darling. I didn't really like that movie. Sorry, Olivia. But it was, the press tour for that was just bonkers.
She knows all the tea.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Say that right.
once Travis Kelce dumps her for some stripper, what song she's going to write about him?
Yeah, he will.
Well, I'm
He's such
rooting
a
for
rockhead.
them. I'm rooting for them, but the songs will be awesome. I am happy she's finally dating an American. She hit the British people for a while.
Yeah.
And so she's finally dating an American who has a car because her old boyfriend did not have a car. And
you know everything.
She's a Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie.
She can't help
Which
it.
relationship of hers do you hate the most?
Definitely John Mayer. Jake Gyllenhaal's a close second, but John Mayer, she was 19, he was 32. It was not a good. Dear John, though, best song ever. One of the best songs.
Yeah, have you ever heard John Mayer say anything that was offensive?
Yeah, he tried to sue her for defamation after that song came out, saying that it because it name dropped him, and she was like, that didn't hurt him.
Why would you want to sue someone for defecation, though? That seems weird.
Defamation.
See,
why would you want that?
The vocabulary for you just isn't there, but you know what? You can try your best.
I didn't get in top 50% of my our top 50. You're top 50 in your class, right?
Yes,
Go in
but
the water.
it's okay. You can get there eventually.
Yeah, we got to go.
89th percentile in mine.
Not bad.
Yeah,
not
not
bad. Top
bad.
100. All right, we got to go.
Okay, thank you so much,
Way to
Paige.
go,
Thanks
Paige.
for being
Thank
here.
you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Junior. And it is a parade edition of Fantastic Friday fan feedback that promises to be Ranger-rific.
Cheap.
So it's going to be fun. 888-787-1310. But before we get to that, I do have a musical note to pass along. Did you see what was released yesterday?
I did.
Was it a Beatles song?
Beatles.
It's the very, very last Beatles song.
I've heard this before.
That will involve all 4 Beatles. It's from an old song of John's. It's called Now and Then. And they took John's voice. It was a recording that they had of John. He was singing and playing the piano. And part of the technology that Peter Jackson, the director of the many things, but Get Back was among them, he developed this technology where you're able to separate voices out from other noises. And they use that a lot in the Get Back documentary that was released. Well, they used this to get the piano off of the song where they just had John's voice. And so they used technology and AI to also recreate John's voice in some parts that they had to do. And they put out this song. So I figured we'd at least listen to a little bit of it and tell me what you think. And we're going to do this. God, get to it. Come on. Isn't there a chorus
Don't
somewhere?
do that to the Beatles.
I know it's true. It's all because of you.
Thank you.
Gosh.
I make it through. It's all because of you. And now and then, if we must start
I need a hook or explosions
Just
or
hold
something.
on.
Explosions.
Where are the lasers? Come on.
Yawn. All right.
I can't take this anymore.
What?
Let the song breathe. Man, when I heard this for the first time, it was like when we saw Paul McCartney, Gordo in Fort Worth, and they had Paul sing along. Let me talk.
I can't hear you.
It's so loud.
You turn the damn thing down then. If you
Well,
want.
if I do, it'll start splatting, so he needs to turn it down there.
That's okay. That might make it better.
You're a jerk.
Anyway, I had a point, but
I just like
I don't
doing
wanna
that
make
to
it
you
Yeah,
guys.
when they were singing, that was a very cool moment in the concert, Paul's
Yes.
concert, when he sang the duet with John.
Right, and I had that same feeling when I heard that the first time. It's just awesome to hear them back together, even though it's, I guess AI and affected. That's so wild that he put that track down, and you could apparently hear a lot of the piano with it, but they just lifted his voice right out of there.
Yeah, And this is, they not only did that, but they also, of course, recorded new guitar parts. They used some guitar that George had recorded 3
Our
decades
George?
ago. No.
No.
George Harrison.
The
It was a
greatest
new
George.
drum part by Ringo and, of course, Paul's bass, piano, and slide guitar that he added as a tribute to Harrison. But they did use some of George Harrison's actual guitar parts.
Yeah, that's so great.
And then Paul and Ringo sang some backup on this. And I think that they used part of the vocals, backup vocals, from other old tracks of the Beatles.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Somehow they used those. It's pretty crazy. Speaking of, but overall, though, and I don't mean this negative in any way towards the Beatles, but they should not have released this song.
No disrespect.
Because, and this is not negative, it is a crap song.
It doesn't sound like a great song.
Do you like anything anymore?
Yes, I do. I love everything.
Can you enjoy just something?
He likes
the
whipped
world?
cream.
I'm with Craig. There was not enough explosions, lasers,
That song's
and
fine.
dancing
Is it
girls
the greatest
in this
Beatles song ever? No, but to me that's not the point. It was very important to Paul to do it, and I think they did a good job with
It's
it.
just that's the one they're going out on, and it just seems like
It's not a very good song.
The song's fine.
I think
What's
we
wrong
can.
with the song?
I think we can all be honest.
yes.
I am being honest. That
Well,
song's
apparently
fine.
George can't be honest.
I'm being honest.
Because if you're being honest, you would have the exact same opinion as me.
No.
That's what everyone means by if
all
you're
your
being
talk
honest.
is wrong most of the time.
What? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, it may grow on me. I'm suspending judgment for right now, despite my comedic
Plus,
negative
I think
comments.
there's a real depth to that production too. I think the sound is really good.
Speaking of music, I don't know if this is possible, but I understand that Queen is performing at the AAC tonight.
Don't give him tickets, y'all.
Do
not give him
people
tickets.
have extra sweet tickets that unfortunately they're not able to use tonight?
It's not even
I
free
mean,
tickets.
I don't even know.
I got to be in a suite.
I know.
I don't even
free
know.
tickets?
So,
and you know what?
if
People love
ticket-
Gordo so much.
if
Some sap out there is probably going to give him a couple of
why
seats.
can't you let me have one?
Because I don't.
Nice thing.
I'm tired of you taking a free ride. That's why.
What?
That's all
A
you've
free
been doing
ride?
since we started at this station.
A free ride?
Vacation time, kickbacks, just
Kickback?
free tickets.
Your mom even accused you of that.
Yeah, my mom
I
did
stand
think.
with your mom against you.
My mom did think that she called this the most double dippingest business she ever heard about. That you get paid to go and talk on the radio.
Jeez.
She didn't want her own son to benefit.
Yes, she rooted against me being on the radio. That's not exactly true. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So if anyone is like...
I knew I shouldn't have told you.
Is real anxious to get rid of sweet tickets, let me know. Or if you work in, let's say, in ticket sales and you have a hookup, that also is acceptable. I'm not going to discriminate. That's one thing about me, is I don't discriminate.
If you're a
where
sales,
I get free tickets.
If you're a sales beaver.
So let's review.
A what?
That's a new term that we got to start working in. Just to review this segment.
Yeah.
As Rangerific Parade Edition.
Yep.
New Beatles song and I Need Queen tickets.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the way we kick it off.
It's celebrating the Rangers.
Celebrating the Rangers through music.
Yeah.
I think it's important to people like me who've covered the Rangers for so many years.
This is why I need weekends.
Kind of have.
All right, let's go to
Scott in Cleburne.
Hey, Scott.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Man, the Rangers won the World Series, and I got to share that with my kids, and it was so exciting. And Bruce Bochy was walking off. I was like, that's the Messiah, son, right there. And he said, why does he walk so different? And I was like, he walks that way because Jub gave him that AIDS baster.
Okay, thank you for your service.
There's
in
a
giving
rant
us
listener
that phone
right there.
call.
So he started off by reeling us in with a heartwarming story.
Son,
yeah,
and he just
sharing a World Series memory with his family.
It sounded a little generic, and I was a little suspicious. And
now you say that.
Now.
You didn't raise the alarm then.
Should have.
Let's go to
Simpson in Burleson.
Okay,
It's
I'm
gonna
already
be good.
look out. My spidey senses tingling.
what's going on, guys?
Hey,
Hello.
Simpson.
Hey guys, when you were talking about the Stanley Cup earlier, it getting damaged or whatever, why didn't you tell them the story about the Daryl Ray eating Trick cereal out of it after the lactating mothers breastfed into it?
Wait.
This is
the
what
final
you want.
term you used was weird to me.
This is what you want.
After the lactating mothers breastfed into it. That's you mean expressed
That's what
milk
they did.
into it?
It's in his book. It's
He's
in his
still
book.
on.
Still on the line.
He ate a bowl of Trix.
Okay, that's enough.
All right, we need to ask Daryl Razor Ray about that. He said
See-
it's in Razor's book.
When Fernando is screening calls, he has a quick hook. But Deddy, he'll let anything through.
Everything goes.
Daddy,
Everything goes.
Daddy, did you get any women on the line?
Do not.
Oh, he's so
Why is-
disappointed.
Why is George calling for women to be
Sorry
on
that
the
you
line?
lost your
I just
bet on
figured
that
Daddy
one.
was out
Vaguely
there.
threatening.
I am horny on Twitter.
I never said that. Not once did I ever say that.
All right, let's go to
Randy in Rockwall.
Brandy in Rockwall.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I don't have a Rangers question, but I have a question for Gordo about a typeweight.
Okay,
I'm
sure that would
bidding
really
on a-
excite
I'm
everyone
bidding
here
on
on
a-
this Ranger Parade
That's how we're
Day.
going to celebrate the World Series.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
bidding
sir.
on a double pigeon Chinese typewriter right now, and I'm up to $22,000. And I just wanted to see what you think you would pay for it.
You're bidding on a double pitch Chinese typewriter?
Double pigeon Chinese typewriter number 2.
I'm insane.
I don't really know what that means.
Is that a
China.
real typewriter?
I have no idea. I have no
Why don't
idea.
you do it, John?
All right, let's.
Oh, I'm
can we
sorry. I
please-
thought you were a
typewriters. Thank you. Let's go
Thank
to
you.
Jeremy in San Angelo.
Jeremy in San Angelo. You're on the ticket.
Hello, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Who is the Gordon Keith Mississippi Mudslide Dallas Star of the Day?
Dallas Star.
Dallas
of the
Star
day.
of the Day.
Should we do that after Stars games?
Yeah, but this is of this day. So I'm supposed to name it here this early in the day. I don't know that they've accomplished anything today.
He meant the game.
Hey, but he
last
said the
night.
day. So
All right,
I don't
then.
know. I don't know, but
That was a
but
great
make
celebration.
note-
Boy, what a way
Hey,
to celebrate the Rangers title.
Daddy, leave a note for Fernando to find out from Daryl Ray if he ate tricks out of the Stanley Cup that lactating mothers had breastfed into.
Marked down. Got it.
Okay, thank you.
So we had 2 Stars calls. We had a typewriter call.
Typewriter
we had
call.
some Beatles news in this Rangers celebration.
And Gordon begged for tickets
Yes.
to see Queen.
All right, Gordo, thank you for whatever that was. It's 9:33.
That's how you ought to end it every one of my segments.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here is the man of the hour, David.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Bob. We miss you.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Don't care about you. So, lost in the mix of Rangers Afterglow, we did have a notable college football game last night. I don't know if you remember seeing this on the TV at Milo's as we were wrapping up the show last night.
TCU, Texas?
Yes. As TCU
Tech
was out
my triple play.
in Lubbock visiting Texas Tech. And it was notable for two reasons. One, Texas Tech was able to, I guess, pull the upset. What was the line?
They were a 3-point favorite.
Tech was a favorite at home? Mm-hmm. Okay. But it ended up 35-28. But what was most notable, you remember in the Meadowlands several years ago when the Cowboys had Rally Cat?
Yeah.
Well, last night, the Red Raiders had Rally Possum. Did you see this?
I did. It was like the cutest possum of all time.
Yeah, so it was near the end of the first quarter when a possum got onto the field at Jones AT&T Stadium, and it ended up not just on the field of play, it got to the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I guess maybe it's just in the equipment closet, but they had an animal snare.
I think all of these stadiums have something like that.
They have an animal snare on hand?
Yeah.
And so they go out and
that snare.
They snare the possum, and they're dragging it. And so it's like digging its claws into the turf, and they're dragging it backwards. And here is what it sounded like on the play-by-play.
An opossum on the field about the 15-yard line. He was not happy about being escorted out of the stadium.
I mean...
Did he call it an opossum?
Yeah. An opossum.
I mean, I get there's an O, but that's a silent O.
Yeah.
Play that again.
All right.
Back her up.
An opossum on the field about the 15-yard line.
Who says that?
He's a Yankee.
An opossum.
An opossum. And, yeah, so they got it out finally. And afterwards, Tech fans, after the win, they were like, where's the possum? We need the possum back.
Yeah, that's their good luck possum.
Yeah.
It is, dude. So that cut that we have of my dogs freaking out and me going, hey! That was them. Mabel, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
She treed a possum, but I didn't know a possum was in this tree. And all of a sudden,
you guys
she's
bring me a tree?
Sticking her head in that hole of a tree. Out pops a possum. And I was filming it because I didn't know what she was scratching the tree for. And I was like, oh, look at my dog. It's so funny and cute. I'm going to send this video. And all of a sudden, a possum's head flies out of the tree. I'm like, oh, my God, no.
Good luck with your crap.
They're gross. But that possum was super cute.
See, I don't have the visceral response to possums that some people have. We, in both the house that sank into the center of the earth and our current house, we have had possums that love to just walk the fence line and torment our dogs.
Yeah.
Because we have little yappy dogs.
Right.
That even if they got a hold of a possum, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
Right.
They would probably get murdered themselves.
Yes.
And so I don't think possums are that ugly or nasty. And I actually do think they're kind of cute, and I like it that they torment my dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is kind of some breaking news. You know, we know that Michael J. Fox has experienced his share of health troubles as he's been battling Parkinson's for now, 30-plus years?
Yeah, I mean, that documentary, which is absolutely, I think it's on Apple TV+. It's amazing. Like, it is really, really great. It's told from the current day perspective of Michael J. Fox, and he goes back through his entire career. But
yeah, he was diagnosed at age 29.
Yeah.
And so he just was in an interview that was published in Town and Country magazine, and he talked about how that and my dad experienced this too, because my dad had Parkinson's, and so Michael J. Fox says you don't die of Parkinson's, you die with Parkinson's. You die because of Parkinson's. And my dad, he fell out of his chair and had, compression fractures in his back, and that sent him to the hospital. And then it just was just a downhill spiral from there. And so similar
Michael J. Fox that he fell, broke his arm and his shoulder, smashed his orbital bone in his cheek, and he broke his hand. I think these are all in separate falls or separate incidents, but he said when he broke his hand that his hand got so infected that he almost had to have it amputated. So, hold a good thought for Michael J. Fox.
When he knew that he had Parkinson's before that he announced it to the world, which I think it took like maybe 7 or 8 years before he finally came clean about it, because he had the tremors.
Yeah.
And every scene, like they go through this in the documentary, and they show him hiding his hands, always in a pocket, always behind his back, always holding a cup, never freehand because But I mean, he got away with it. No one knew.
Yeah, he did hide it for a good long time. Then later on, he would play it up.
Yeah.
It would be it would be written into his character. I forget when he played an attorney.
What show was he on? No, it was after Spin City. It was
like
Back to the Future.
Like the Good Fight or something, or The Good Wife. He was a recurring guest.
Damn, did you just say Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's a movie.
Okay,
all right, let's move on. We do have. Let's have some fun with music stories here to end E-News.
Okay.
Tonight is the gala for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The ceremony will be tonight in Brooklyn, New York. And unlike previous years where they would film it and then they would wait like 6 months and do a condensed version on HBO, this is going to be live streamed on Disney+. So it starts at 7 p.m. tonight if you are interested in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But one person that will not be there, Kate Bush, has confirmed that she will not be in attendance. She says, I'm completely blown away by this honor, and thank you to everyone who voted for me. And, she references how last year was such a surprise with Running Up That Hill being everywhere because of Stranger Things.
And I feel like that the only reason she's in the Hall of Fame is because of Stranger Things.
It's really because of that.
Which, by the way, I got nothing against Kate Bush. I never really understood the British craze because she was big over there, never big here. That one song, it did okay. But, I mean, the fact that she is in and it does coincide with the biggest show on TV and the biggest moment of the TV show and that song being featured, it just doesn't add up to someone being in the Hall of Fame just because of a pop culture moment.
Yeah,
30 years later after your song is released, or 40.
I mean, I guess she had some closet fans on the voting panel.
Yeah. I mean, she was huge over there in the UK.
Yeah, for sure. And she didn't necessarily give a reason why she's not attending, but she's up there. It's probably a long trip. She's probably like, no, I'm good. I don't need to fly to Brooklyn.
It is kind of weird, though, that you get that ultimate honor, and you've kind of been out of the limelight for who knows how many years. Maybe she didn't want to sing. Because a lot of these guys they perform.
Yeah, she's been out of the limelight for quite some time.
Yeah.
Maybe
she's kind of a 5 head going there.
Maybe she's got a 5 head, or maybe she's like 400 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe she did nothing but eat scones during COVID.
They've got to lower her down in like a pulley and lever system,
Yes, like a Shamu stretcher.
Right, yeah.
Crane.
We're speculating.
We don't know.
We're speculating.
We're broadcasting.
So Taylor Swift, thankfully, she is kicking off her international Eras Tour legs. And so we won't have to worry about seeing her at any more Chiefs games in the foreseeable future. But there's a story about the shows that are about to happen in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So she is doing 3 shows, the 9th, 10th, and 11th here in November this weekend in Buenos Aires. And so there are a group of kids. They're all over the age of 18. No one under the age of 18 is allowed. But most of them are young women. And there's, I guess, 5 different tents and about 60 people per tent that they have been camped out to get the front row spots for the GA section since June.
What?
So they take shifts that they've been in this tent for 5 months.
No, you misunderstood him.
They've been in this tent for 5 months, And like one of them said that she doesn't want her parents to find out, so she says that she's out at the park with friends or she's spending the night at a friend's house, and then she goes and hangs out and holds their spot in this tent. And they have like a spreadsheet, and everybody has a shift. And so they are all, and then based on how many hours you put in, that determines what place in line you get.
You know, I've often, because I have 2 boys, and you wonder, like, oh, what would it be like if I had a daughter instead of a son? This makes me glad that I don't have daughters, just so I don't have to put up with Taylor Swift.
So you don't have to worry about them camping in a park in Buenos Aires for 6 months?
So this morning when the Musers were out here at Fannin Tree Farm, thank you, Fannin. And thank you, people, for being out here. Give yourselves a hand.
Thank you.
Give yourselves a hand.
Trees!
And go Rangers, too, right? Yeah. So easy. But there was a girl that they interviewed here. Paige, I think, is her name. She's been out here a bunch whenever the Musers come out here in the morning.
Oh, yeah. She's a big Swiftie.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
The knowledge that she had, and Gordon just asked her one thing, like one question, and it was just like a million different things all at once of just all about Taylor. I'm just like, what is happening? I'm glad my kids are
dumb.
Just stare at a basketball screen for 7 hours a day. Yeah, and scream, shut the F up.
Okay, quickly, one more. Steven Tyler has been sued one more time. So late last year, he was sued in California by a woman, Julia Misley, who said that he sexually assaulted her in the 70s. And I think that was the creepy one where he became her guardian or something, so she could go on tour with them.
15.
Yeah. So there's a new one that was just filed earlier this week in New York City. A woman named Jeannie Bellino. So in 1975, she was 17 years old, and she was working as a child model. And she and a friend met up. They lived in Queens, and they would ride together to go to gigs in Manhattan. And her friend arranged for them to meet Aerosmith after their modeling event. And she says that Steven Tyler pinned her in a phone booth in broad daylight, stuck his tongue down her throat, groped her, used his panosity to rub all over her, and she says that it was her first sexual experience of her life. It was
How
shocking.
romantic.
It was shocking and mortifying. So she finally gets out of the phone booth, but she doesn't have a ride home, and so she goes with her friend back to the Aerosmith Hotel, the Warwick Hotel, and then she says that he assaulted her again, and the only reason she escaped is the hotel doorman called her a cab.
Wow.
So, Steven Tyler, creep in the first degree.
Yeah, man.
Innocent until proven guilty, but, I mean, just look at it.
How many?
I mean, look at the scarves, look at the mouth.
Like the stories that we heard from those rock and roll dudes from back in the day. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, you had women that would chase them down and cast papier-mâché molds of their junk.
Yeah.
So there was a symbiotic relationship between rockers and whores in those days.
Whores.
But we're talking about underage girls, not whores.
And they felt invincible
yes.
at the time. Those guys
at the time,
literally thought that they could never get busted for anything.
Yeah, that Twitter would never get a hold of this.
Right. Okay. Oh, Dave.
All right, we have a lot to get to and not a lot of time. So let's start tonight at the American Airlines Center with Queen.
Queen Part 2?
Yeah, they did last night and tonight.
So they did We Are the Champions wearing, Brian May wore a Ranger shirt.
Did he?
Yes, doing We Are the Champions.
That's so great.
The video's awesome.
Also tonight at the Majestic, the Fab Four doing Rubber Soul. Not the real Fab Four. They're just called the Fab Four.
Do you think that if it was the Fab Four, they'd play the Majestic?
No. At the Granada, Wednesday 13. This sounds like Halloween music. It's just a little late.
Yeah, I'm out.
At Texas Trust CU Theater, Legends of Hip Hop with Juvenile, Bun B, Scarface, Goody Mob, and more.
Bun B. That's Houston's own.
I wish I could go to this. I wasn't aware of this until today. At Tulips Fort Worth, Nation of Language.
Who's that?
They are a hot Brooklyn synth pop band.
Ooh, right up your alley.
They are so up my alley.
Why don't you go?
Because I kid weekend this weekend. And it's in Fort Worth.
You know what? This whole family thing is just ruining our vibe.
Cramps our style. At Tannehill's Tavern, Doug Stone, and at Billy Bob's, the Bellamy Brothers.
Giddy up, boom, boppa. No, not that.
Let your love flow.
And don't they have like a lot of different members, a lot of different brothers?
I only know of two. At least there's only two in the picture.
Okay.
Tomorrow at Longhorn Ballroom, Christopher Cross.
No way.
Yeah.
Say it. That's the ticket's own.
No way. Take me away to where I'm going. At Southside Ballroom, Russell Dickerson.
Tell me how you know him.
I don't.
Yes, you do. Is this country?
Yeah, it's bro country.
Okay. You know how you know him?
No. How do I know him?
Ranger game, me and you, game 1 of the World Series. Remember we saw the walk-up music?
Oh, that's right. Who has Russell Dickerson as their walk-up music?
Maybe like Jonah Heim?
Yeah.
And we were like, Russell Dickerson?
What the hell
what
is
a
that?
loser is this?
Well, it helped win a World Series.
Maybe he's there tonight.
Yeah, maybe you'll see Jonah Heim at Southside Ballroom. At House of Blues tomorrow night, We Came as Romans. At Echo Lounge Sunroom. At Sundown at Granada, they're playing the small room at Granada, Mudhoney.
Really?
Yes. Grunge legends Mudhoney are playing Sundown at Granada. It's kind of crazy, huh?
It is. Very weird.
No. Tomorrow at Toyota Music Factory, Junior H. At the Switchyard in Carrollton. It's the festival at the Switchyard in Carrollton. Collective Soul, Fuel, and more.
Oh, my God. Fuel.
Yeah.
Collective.
All of it.
It's just so bad. Yeah. But go. Have fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow at Legacy Hall, Josh Abbott Band. At Arlington Music Hall, Mo Pitney and Daryl Worley. At Texas Trust CU Theater, Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
He's like a blues guy.
Yeah.
At Billy Bob's, Ramon Ayala.
Is that Montry?
No, it's straight up
Mex.
Without
the
like
untry?
he's like a accordion savant. Listen to this.
So he's like the John Popper of Mexico?
Yes, he is, exactly. Sunday at Granada Theater, Jub, it's The Fix.
Oh, no way!
It is sold out, by the way.
Where's that?
At Granada on Sunday.
Oh, my God.
Sold out.
Oh. Is Jub going?
I don't know. He should. He should be on the list.
Yeah.
Because he took them to get toothbrushes at CVS.
Yeah.
And he had to spot them for toothpaste.
By the way, George, could you please buy us a tube of paste?
We don't have toothpaste in the UK. No. Also on Sunday at the House of Blues, Bullet for My Valentine. At Texas Theater, Bell Witch. At Texas Trust CU Theater, The Rose. This is K-pop. More K-pop.
No
that you
disrespect.
Don't know about.
Just go away, K-pop.
No disrespect.
At Club Dada on Sunday, The Lighthouse and The Whaler. Monday at Echo Lounge, Mark E. Bassi. Tuesday at Granada, Tesseract.
Tesseract? Yeah. Ham, are you going?
Maybe.
Kind of hot.
At Cambridge Room on Tuesday, J.B. Cooper. At Club Dada, Billy Rafool. Wednesday at House of Blues, Skinny Puppy. At Trees, Citizen. At the Studio at the Factory, Red Clay Strays. At the Factory, Men I Trust. At Southside Ballroom, Lil Uzi Vert.
Ooh. What night is that?
That is Wednesday.
Man, I should take my son.
Is he a big Lil Uzi Vert
Oh, my
guy?
God, yes. You know, he's 18. Why do I have to take him anywhere?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just leave the house?
Do your own thing.
Yeah. Because he
and
needs money.
Also on Wednesday at Will Rogers Auditorium, Nathaniel Rateliff.
Oh, bro. At Will Rogers?
Yeah, Will Rogers.
Dude, he's so good live. Holy crap. And the Night Sweats, or did you say Nathaniel Rateliff?
It just says Rateliff, yeah.
Okay.
And Thursday at Trees, Dead Kennedys.
No way.
Yeah, they're still around.
At Trees?
At Trees. At the Echo Lounge, Periphery. At the Factory, Tanashi. At the studio at the Factory, the Milk Carton Kids. And at the Music Hall at Fair Park on Thursday, performing Yoshimi in full, The Flaming Lips.
Do you want to go?
I can't.
What?
I can't.
What a give up that was.
Kid stuff.
Dave.
Kid stuff.
Unbelievable.
And at the Reconsider
What's
Lounge. At the Reconsider Lounge, a Dr. Dre cover band comprised of ticket engineers failing at the Rangers parade. Ain't nothing but a 4G thing. And a tribute to Garth Brooks fronted by a Rangers first baseman chugging alcohol on a parade float. Shotgunned beers and low faces.
It's topical and accurate. All right, awesome stuff, David. There is the concert calendar at 6:50 here on The Ticket.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.